Hey guys, Music Man here. I'm gonna be doing another commentary video with my Bloody Queen gameplay. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so here's the first gameplay that I'm gonna show you. And this is of Bloody Queen on Red Church. So there's a prospector, lawyer, postman, and wildling in here. So overall, not a ton of kiting potential for the survivor team. The prospector can be a little annoying, but I come across the postman, which pre-buff is the postman does not have really any kiting potential at all. He's got like nothing to work with. So at this point I end up throwing down a patroller. So now I'm gonna chase the postman. So when the postman's got the patroller on them, he does not have a lot of potential to really transition anywhere. The only way he can disable the patroller is by doing some sort of action. I sort of walked into that one for the wildling, but I thought I could get a hit on him. But anyways, he's off. The wildling's off his boar, and the wildling is pretty much useless as a character if he's not on his boar. He's got the harshest decoding debuff in the game right now. So it takes him a really long time to finish a cipher. So now I'm just going to hit the postman again. Of course, the wildling is bringing Tide Turner, so now I'm just going to chase the postman here until he ends up falling down. So now the postman's heading back to the chair, of course, and the prospector is here. And he ends up pushing me away. I get a hit on the prospector, and I end up actually getting a second hit on the prospector. So double hitting the rescuer is a really good option, because it means that now that was a really unfortunate rotation there. I went to the wildling there, but if they get that, then that means that they have to heal before getting back up. So the prospector ended up needing to heal, which either forces him to use his exit path, or it ends up taking a survivor away from decoding. So now I have the prospector down again, and I'm going to be taking the prospector to the I was just checking to see if the wildling was around. So how the wildling basically works is that if he does his charge at you and he ends up hitting you with his boar right as you're in the pickup animation of the survivor, and that's actually going to make it so that you will drop the survivor and you'll be pushed by the boar. So that gives your teammate a lot of room to kite from that, which is why he's got such a punishing decoding debuff. So now I've got the prospector on a patroller at this point, so now there's not a ton that he can do either. So I end up getting the prospector in the cellar, and I try to get the wildling off his board. The pain about wildling is that the wildling on the boar is faster than any hunter in the game. So that's really irritating. It's irritating that the boar is faster than the hunter, because that means he doesn't have a ton of counters to his kiting, which is why you just kind of leave a wildling alone, unless if he's doing something like that where you can easily hit him. So the reason why I downed the wildling here instead of chasing the prospector, even though the prospector has been shared, is that it forces someone else to try to attempt a dungeon save to pull this from a draw into a win. Even though that it's not an immense kiting, or it's not an immense decoding. He doesn't offer a lot for decoding. It still forces someone to try to attempt a save. Even if it forces someone to attempt to save, even if he doesn't offer a lot for decoding after he's rescued. Now, at this point, it doesn't really look like anybody's coming for the rescue. The lawyer makes his way, but the lawyer is extremely late. It's too late for the lawyer to do anything now. So at this point, I was debating about teleporting in the middle because that's the last cipher. But I actually end up seeing the lawyer right here. He starts trying to come around the side. He uses his wand, but I actually end up seeing him right there. And I know that last cipher is being decoded, so I teleport there because I don't want the cipher pop to happen right as the lawyer, right as the prospector finishes the cipher. So now what I'm doing is I'm just chasing the prospector here. So now he's going to be taking me into wedding. So this gives the lawyer an opportunity to do some decoding. I'm not exactly sure what the lawyer is doing right now, but he was priming a second cipher, I think. But now I end up getting the prospector done. I was taking a gamble that the cipher in the middle wasn't just primed so you could show up and pop it, but I actually end up getting the prospector chair there, and from here on out, all I need to do is camp. So if you have 3 survivors down, unless if it's 5v5, you might as well just stay on that chair because that chair guarantees you the win. It's highly unlikely unless they have something like the tide turner or something that they can go run to finish a cipher with or anything. There's no coming back from it. So now the prospector is eliminated, and now I'm just going to look around for the dungeon. Look around. The lawyer ends up getting crows here, so I end up getting the lawyer down really fast here. Nice and easy, but you know me. I like to put the last one in the dungeon, so that's exactly what I do. So I end up picking up the lawyer here, taking the dungeon, and that's the game. So you can kind of see how I use my mirrors to my advantage. Took a look at like overall game strategy, and I hope that you learned something from this, and that's the first game. So the next game that I'm going to show you is also on Red Church. I remember this one. This one was a really tough game for survivors because of this move right here. I end up placing my mirror right here and terror shocking the mercenary, which is supposed to be the primary rescuer. So also what's great about this is that I get the double hit, and he is right next to dungeon. So that's really convenient for me. Already not even half a minute into the game, I've got a survivor in basement. So that's a really, really tough start for survivors, because now someone either needs to attempt a basement save, or at this point I get my mirror back and I end up going to disrupt some. I was looking for wiggling ciphers. I hit the prisoner here. At this point I am still going to be camping out at the dungeon, but now the prisoner can't attempt a rescue, so that's good to know. So that forces either the dancer or the embalmer to go for the save. So the dancer is the one that actually ends up coming. If I were on the survivor team, I would have recommended that the embalmer go for the rescue because he's got that coffin. He has an opportunity to escape if things go wrong and he ends up getting stuck in the basement. But what I do there is I use the ledge to get a hit, and so now so if you end up hitting a survivor by jumping off a ledge, you're gonna have no attack recovery. Now, I feel like that should have hit the mercenary, but he's got 3 more gauntlets, so I'm not gonna waste too much time on it, even if he's dead on share. The same thing that, like what I did last game, if you have a survivor that you have a free opportunity to get another chairing in basement, take it. So now what I'm doing is I'm going around. I end up going away from the basement here because of the position that I'm at. It offers a lot of flexibility for me to do things like that. So I end up going over here, and I'm really confused that why there's no survivor there. I think it was actually the prisoners thing that did that. But what I do here is I know that the mercenary is dead on share. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to chase the mercenary here. I don't care what happens to Dancer. I can see the Embalmer's going for the rescue, but even if he does get the rescue, it doesn't matter at all because you can see here I get a free hit on the mercenary. So, and the mercenary is eliminated here really soon. So that gave me a lot of wiggle room to leave the dungeon because at that point the dungeon didn't matter. I saw the survivor that was eliminated. So if you're ever dead on chair, you never go for the save. Unless if it's like you're the only survivor left or whatever. Don't go for the save because otherwise you will get tunneled by top hunters. They'll recognize that you're one chairing away from being eliminated and they're gonna take advantage of that. So I end up seeing the Embalmer here. They Cypher rush me really well. 1 Cypher remaining. So what I do is I get the Embalmer down, but I don't care about chairing the Embalmer so much because he's got that coffin. If he didn't have that coffin, I definitely would have chaired him, but at this point, disrupting the last survivor is what's most important. So I didn't actually see that prisoner thing there when I was playing, but now the prisoners here, I was banking on that last cipher not being finished because I thought that the prisoner was the one trying to prime that cipher. So I ended up taking the prisoner to the chair, but I see that cipher is wiggling, so I teleport there because I don't want that cipher to get primed. And I do a poor mirror here. I should have tried to do it at a little bit of a different angle, and I should have definitely switched here instead of trying to circle around this wall. That would have given me a better opportunity to catch up, but it works out in the end because I end up getting the female dancer here, who's actually eliminated at this point from her chairing in basement. So while it was a good move by the female dancer, it didn't end up going very well because now she is eliminated. So now there are 2 survivors left. I have a guaranteed tie. I'm looking for where the survivors are at. And there is a survivor around there, so I thought he was going to go further left, in which the mirror rotation would be more helpful, but I actually end up getting a prisoner around here. Just trying to bait the pallet drop. He is not really dropping pallets at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and run through some of them. So now I'm using my mirror here, and I end up downing the prisoner. So now I can take the prisoner to the chair, and you know what I said before, if it's not 5v5, you can pretty much just camp out at the last chair. And there would be nothing that the survivors can do to win the game. But I knew where the Embalmer was, so I ended up teleporting there. But yeah, that's the game. I hope you learned something from this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and let me know in the comment section of any questions, thoughts, or suggestions for future videos. So yeah, thanks for watching.